Alright, welcome back to Chaotic Strategies TCG, the companion show to our Chaotic Strategies page. Today I just kind of wanted to go over the Master Rules leading up to today's Master Rule 4 update. So I'm just going to do a quick overview from Master Rule 1 to Master Rule 4 to the update here. Just kind of give you a very brief, quick rundown. A lot of you may not know what I'm talking about, which I will cover in other videos as well. I think this video kind of takes priority over those because we are coming up into a new duel season. I know the world is crazy right now and we're quarantining, but once this all clears up, we're going to get right back into duel season, and we're going to start seeing a lot of decks just come out on top that we just haven't seen in quite a few years. So here it is. I hope you guys enjoy the video. Okay, so just kind of going over the master rules here of Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm going to start out just kind of going through Master Rule 1 to 4, and then I'm going to talk about the update to Master Rule 4 for this year's 2020 upcoming duel season, and just kind of the expectations that we can kind of expect to see with this new Master Rule that we've got going on. So starting with Master Rule 1, I kind of already have it laid out. The deck consists, this is your main deck over here. Between 40 and 60 cards in your main deck for regular dueling. You have monster cards, spell cards, trap cards. So we have monster cards, which is our Dark Magician there. We have our spell cards, like Soul Servant, which is our green cards. And then we have our reddish pinkish cards, which are our trap cards. And then over on the left side here, this is our extra deck. So Master Rule 1 was typically just your monster cards, some ritual cards that were in there, which I can get into in another video, and our fusion cards. So when you were playing, you get into your extra deck with the fusion card, you can fusion summon that card and put it anywhere on the board. Very simple, very straightforward, a lot of fun, kind of a little bit more fast-paced, but still slower than the decks that we're seeing today. Very simple. Master Rule 2 was the same way, but with the introduction of synchro cards. And the synchro cards are going to be white cards. They're in your extra deck as well. And those required tuners and monster cards to come together to create your synchro monsters. Again, just like in Master Rule 1, you can set them anywhere within the 5 spaces of your monster card zones. Again, very straightforward, very simple. Master Rule 3 gave us some XYZ cards on top of our pendulum cards. And this isn't a pendulum deck, but I'll kind of just briefly explain what a pendulum deck is. Going in with the XYZ cards, these are going to be your black cards again in the extra deck. And these cards would take 2 or more monsters of the same level combined together to bring out your XYZ card. Again, place them anywhere that you want to within your 5 monster card zones. Pendulums, which I think I'll do a side video specifically for pendulums. You have your 2 pendulum zones here. In the original Master Rule 3, you actually had an extra set of pendulum zones up here, and they actually changed that going into Master Rule 4 to use up your spell and trap card zones as well. Pendulums were great. They kind of broke the system because you can really flood all your monster zones in one go. Going into Master Rule 4, they gave us not only, we have the pendulum zones, they moved them down here to our spell and trap card zones, but they also gave us 2 extra monster zones up here. 1 for each side, so you could not control 2 sides unless you kind of locked the board out with what's called link monsters. And these are going to be blue cards that go up in that extra monster zone, again using 2 or more cards to link summon into those cards. With these cards, if you notice, you have arrows on these cards here and here for this particular one. They could be all over. Once you have that card out, you can only bring out any other card from your extra deck into a zone that this points to. So they pretty much stopped you from being able to special summon from your extra deck anywhere on the zone except for your extra monster zone up top, which I think was great. It really slowed the game down. It made you think. It kind of gave a new strategic aspect to the game, utilizing these arrows to get your more powerful monsters out onto the board through the gameplay. Going into Master Rule 5, which it isn't really a Master Rule 5, it's more or less an update to this Master Rule, which is the most recent one. Now, what we're doing, we're still having our link cards, we're still having all of our other cards that we've been utilizing over the years, except this time now we're going back to being able to bring out our Xyz cards, our Synchro cards, and our Fusion cards without having to go up into the monster zone and without relying on the arrows from our link cards. The only cards that are required now to go up into the master zone are going to be our link cards and pendulum monsters special summoned from our extra deck, which again I will do a separate video explaining how pendulums work and why we're bringing out regular monsters like Dark Magician there from the extra deck. So that's the way the new Master Rule's pretty much going to work. We can go back to flooding our board with our normal powerful monsters without relying on our link cards to make that happen. So kind of some of the expectations that I think, my predictions coming in with this new format is we're going to start seeing a lot of older decks start coming back into play and kind of dominating the game. I think we're going to see a lot of these newer meta decks kind of go back to the wayside, and we're going to start seeing a lot of older decks. I think we're going to start seeing Cyber Dragons come out on top. We're going to start seeing Spirals. They've already been doing very well over in the OCG. Cyber Dragons have been doing very well in the OCG. We're just going to start seeing a lot more flooding playstyle. We're going to start seeing turbo synchro decks, and what I mean by that is that you can pretty much fill your 5 monster spaces in one turn with synchro cards. I think we're going to start seeing links not necessarily drop off, but we're going to see them used in different ways from here on out, since we don't have to rely on those arrows to flood our board anymore. So yeah, that's the gist, a very quick rundown of the Master Rules that I just kind of wanted to throw out there. Next week I will do a video for pendulums. I do have a pendulum deck, and just kind of explain how the pendulums work. I'm also going to throw up our first deck profile to match this year's ban list and new update to the Master Rule. So I'm going to give you guys that, and we'll just we'll keep cruising along. I'll go over the ban list so that way everybody knows what to expect with this year's duel season. I believe the ban list is going to update again in June, so we don't have too long with this ban list before the next one kind of drops in for the big heavy season of dueling. So with that, guys, that's kind of where we're at right now with the Master Rules. Okay, so that's again, that's just a very brief, quick rundown of the Master Rules up until this point. Like I said in the video, I'll be going over pendulums, how pendulums play, or how they used to play, and then how they play now with the new Master Rule update. I'm going to come out with videos with the ban list, deck profile, first deck profile video next week as well. If there's anything I missed or anything that you guys want me to cover, if you guys want me to cover an intro into how to play Yu-Gi-Oh, I can do it, no problem. I can break it up into a few videos. There's a lot of things to cover in this game of Yu-Gi-Oh, between your main deck, your extra deck, kind of how to build the decks, your card ratios, all of it. If you guys want me to build or make a video that goes over that, by all means, let me know in the comments. I will gladly get some content out there for you guys. If not, I'm just going to keep cruising on with the deck profile videos. Also, if you just kind of want some help with deck building, by all means, send me a link in the comments, or let me know in the comments, and I will make a personalized video for you. Let me know what kind of deck you're running, give you some ideas, and yeah, we'll get you set up and ready to go for this upcoming duel season. As always, guys, like, share, subscribe. Again, follow us on Facebook at The Strategist88 and on Twitter at The Strategist88. And you guys have a fantastic day. Wash your hands. Stay safe. We'll see you in the next video.